What's up, everybody? Back on the infamous 63 once again, the blue 63, and just battling with these hood hinges. These things are not cheap, so I'm trying not to give up easy. I went out and got some of this super fast acting, penetrating WD-40. Was pretty expensive for WD-40, but anyway, been trying to soak the hinges with that. And I also remembered I had some white vinegar around here. I use that from time to time on engines, if it's been sitting for a while and you need to try to get it to turn, because, that vinegar dissolves or chews away and eats rust. So I threw some in the spray bottle, and I've been generously spraying down all the pivot points and trying to see if we can't free them up. So far, no action, as you can see. Them bad boys are solid, and I don't want to damage the hood or flex the fenders, so I got to take it easy with that. But in parallel, I reached out to a friend of mine who deals with these cars, and he's coincidentally said he just got a pair of fresh hinges. So the only problem though is I won't be able to connect with him until the weekend. So maybe on Saturday we'll go out to his location where he keeps all his cars and check them out. And if all goes well, that'll be a good trip. I'll get some footage of some other cars that he has. He's always dealing in parts. So if you're watching this and you have a situation where you're looking for some classic Impala parts, I have a connect that has some. So just reach out. He ships, I think, worldwide. So I might be able to help you if you need something. But in the meantime, this is what we're working on. I don't know how far we're going to get, but I just wanted to try to see if we would have some luck with freeing them up, because aside from them having this rust issue, they're good hinges, all right? All the metal is straight, and I don't know. I'm just trying to save them. I hate to throw things away, And even if I don't get them to work this time, I'm not going to throw them away. I might take them and just soak them in some vinegar or some kind of solution that would help dissolve that rust and eat it up. But that's where we're at for now. So stick with me, and I'll get back to you in a few. Shawnee C out. Guys, look at that, man. Can you believe it, man? Do you believe in miracles? I can't believe it, but yeah, it looks like that white vinegar did wonders, man. Maybe it's a combination of both. The high-grade WD-40, super penetrating, blah, 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 in combination with the dollar store white vinegar. Between those two and giving them time to soak and coming back and flexing on it a little bit, the hinges finally broke free. So that's a huge win, guys. I was, right away ready to just say, there's something going on there. They're still not perfect, so I'm going to work them a little bit. And, I already kind of committed to buying the other pair that my friend has, so I'm going to go ahead and get those anyway. And although I did get them to work, on the right-hand side, there's still somewhat of a unsightly gap. I still have to finesse it and adjust it a little bit, but right now I'm noticing this gap is way larger than I'd like it to be, and it's a little too far over to the left as well. Probably just all an adjustment, so I'll play with it a little bit. I don't have the exact right bolts, and I need to put some washers on the bottom of them so they're not really mounted right now, because the heads of them are too small and they're almost like going right through that mounting point on the actual hinge. But man, I'm just real happy to at least be able to, pull the hood down now and look at it closed. I didn't even realize when I got this hood that it came with a hood lip molding. I have one either way, but that's good. But I need the rest of the moldings here in the front. And yeah, man, the thing looks like a car now. So now I can get serious about it. Still trying to figure out what my real game plan is with it. And like was mentioned in the comments, working on this car is kind of more my comfort zone than working on the Acura over here, the RLX. I'm not afraid to work on the RLX though, I'm trained in new schools and old schools, so I don't mind working on either one. It's just that, I just finished working on the 63, so to jump on another 63, I'm all for it. My only thing right now is I don't want to jump too hard on it because I'm not going to be able to paint it until the spring, either way. I mean, I probably could because so far the winter has been mild, but it's still yet to be determined if we're going to get some hell of a cold and snow, which being from Michigan, that's what I expect. It's fairly rare that we get a mild winter. And like I said, my shop, I don't have a furnace here or any kind of traditional heat. So I use non-traditional means. It's expensive, noisy, and not really good for paint. It could contaminate paint, etc. So at best, we might go ahead and do body work and prime it so that when the spring comes, it's ready to just be sprayed. So we'll see how far we can take it and how the weather cooperates or doesn't cooperate. But don't worry, we're going to be working. We got plenty of stuff to work on. I think now that I have conquered the hood, I don't know, I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do next on the car other than now trying to align it and get the hood where it needs to be. I don't think I'll have any problem with that. In worst case, I don't know, maybe the fresh hinges will help a little bit. So we'll see. Should pick those up on the weekend. So let me see. Yeah, at best, we'll probably be able to try those on Monday. Yep, there's no work on Sunday. That's family day for me. And hopefully you too. And if you go to church, say a little prayer for your boy. I could use all the prayers I could get. And so could this car. So we're going to try to get this bad boy together. I think I might throw the bumper on there just to do it, even though I'm going to have to end up, well, I don't know. I think I probably won't. That don't make sense if I'm going to do the body work. And we got to work smarter, not harder. So I'm not trying to lift the heavy bumper, mount it on there, and then end up taking it right back off. It doesn't make sense. So we'll focus on getting this front end aligned and looking good. And then maybe we'll start some light body work. And I do need to see what I'm going to do in the trunk. I'm going to, before I make a major decision, I'm going to wait and see what happens when I go check out these cars that my buddy has. Because maybe I get lucky and he has one where we can cut out that whole rear trunk, drip rail or run channel. I forget what the exact name of it is, but where the molding goes in the trunk. Maybe he's got one where I can cut it out. Otherwise, I did find, I think Classic Industries sells one of the other pieces of sheet metals that I would like to buy to help the process along. But unfortunately, with the price of the part plus shipping, man, I'm not even going to say the price here because I know my wife is watching. But it's too expensive to buy right now, knowing that realistically, with the holidays and all that coming up, the car is a lower priority. So we'll see how it goes. I also got to double check the cars outside because there may be something that I can already cut off of one of those to help splice into this. But what I'm getting at is once we get this front end all aligned and straightened out, the body work on this car is going to be fairly light, except for in the rear portion. And that's why I'm trying to do the front first, because when we get to the back, you guys already know I got sheet metal work to do. And although I've done a bunch of cutting and fitting of panels already, everything still needs to be finessed and welded. So I got to tack things in place, etc. And right now my welding setup is kind of not the greatest. All I have right now is flux core welder. Both welders, I have a 110 volt and a 220 volt version, and they can both take the shielding gas or whatever. So I want to opt for that, but I gotta get it all set up. I think I may reach out to one friend who's in that field who might be able to help me get that going. But in the meantime, I'm also keeping my eyes on Marketplace, see if I get lucky and just find a nice setup that's already got the bottle and everything, and I can just go grab that and use that. So, yeah, one way or another, we're trying to do it, but we're trying to do it the right way, I've got enough novice experience with welding with flux core alone to know that that's not the route I want to go for final welding of those panels. And although it's thin gauge metal and all of that, you know, you probably could get away with flux core, but you know, I want to make sure it's done to the best of my ability, and that means adding a little shielding gas and the right equipment. So we'll do that. We're all set up here at the shop for 220, so that's not the problem. It's just the equipment. Since I don't really weld every day, I have yet to buy a good welder. As you know, those Miller big dog welders, man, you can spend a pretty penny, you know, to purchase one. So it's one of those investments I just haven't made yet, but it's on the horizon. Quite a few things. Need to get a good welder, need to get a hoist in here so we can lift these cars up and down easier. I need a tire machine. I got the balancer, but I need the actual machine to mount and dismount tires. Once we get that stuff, we're good, man. We can do 100% everything in-house. Down the road, maybe, you know, if things come to fruition, we can have a paint booth as well. And then nobody could stop us. We'd be doing everything. Frame machine, paint booth, tire machine, be a one-stop shop. But yeah, guys, so I catch myself here, I'm rambling, so just want to share with you that the hinge is freed up, and although it's not perfect, at least we can see the car with the hood down, you know? Every day when you push, you can get a little bit further. And as long as you got the vision in your mind, you can already picture what this thing is gonna look like when it's done. So you just keep going on your project, don't give up. Every little bit counts, you know? Even if you just go out there and look at it for a minute, touch it, feel it, and get your game plan together. Start to inventory what parts you have versus what you're missing, and then start keeping an eye out on eBay, Marketplace, or whatever, and start piecing things together. Because one thing's for sure and one thing's for certain is to build these cars, it's not cheap. It's quite an investment, and it's getting harder to do every day. Although they built a lot of these cars, I mean, it's almost 2025. They're harder and harder to come by and harder to find in good condition where you don't have to do a lot of work. So more than likely, if you have one, it's a project. So, you know, don't force things, just do what you can. Just take it one step at a time, and eventually you'll get over the hump. So that's my advice. But at the same time, I need some advice from you guys. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think, man? How's the car looking compared to how it looked only a couple of days ago? What do you think? What should we do with it going forward? Should we keep it this color blue, or should we go with maybe a little different blue? I really like this blue, but I've been thinking of candy colors, maybe a candy teal or something. I want to expand my horizons with the paint game too. So I think with this car, I might try to put a little more expensive paint job on it. That's another reason why we don't want to just cut any corners when we're putting it together. I mean, we can take a shortcut here and there, but nothing too major, right? Because we want this thing to be right, especially if we're going to spray some expensive candy paint on it. So let me know your thoughts below, guys. If you're new here, please subscribe to the channel if you like the content and you're feeling this, because we'll always be working on cars, so you'll see more content along these lines and other things too. We'll take you on a few journeys, car shows, all sorts of stuff that's going on here in the Metro Detroit area. And yeah, just don't stop. You know, check out some of the previous content. Adjust your bell notifications so you don't miss any of the future content. And just enjoy the ride, guys. Buckle up and stay tuned, because there'll be more to come. I'm your host, Shawnee C. And that's it for today. I'm signing off, guys. Thanks for watching. Appreciate each and every one of you, wherever you may be in the world. Keep going, never give up, and be good to other people. Peace.